Hello and good evening, everyone. This is Jamita Hill Rogers, and today I am presenting to you the Bridging the Gap uh, presentation. And we're going to go ahead and get started with a description of the different adopters. The different adopters are identified as the innovators. They're early adopters as well, and they're also laggards. They're early majority, and then there's late majority. So we're gonna I'm gonna go through and we're going to go through those different types of adopters that we may see in a working environment, or whether if it's in a school or a school system, school district, or what have you, whatever working environment that you have exposure to. So innovators of new ideas. This is the person who is responsible for coming up with these great ideas. They have these great thought processes, and it would just be brilliant if everyone would jump on board. But we all know that that's not the case. So innovators are mostly responsible for finding new material and sharing it with others. And again, like I said, everyone is not going to be receptive. They're the active outside source within the system. They're trusted by others within the community as well because they have more technical knowledge. So more or less, it's kind of looked at if a person has this large database of knowledge in their heads, or they have these grand ideas. They know how these things work hand in hand together. And a person like myself, who's probably not technically inclined as I should be, would probably think it would be a crazy idea. So I wouldn't probably be on board as much as this innovator. So of course I can probably be innovative in other areas other than technology, but in the area of technology, this innovator is the person that knows all about everything from the top to the bottom. Then it goes to early adopters. Early adopters, in comparison to the innovators, early adopters are not restricted with boundaries and in which they have within their system. So early adopters are mostly looked at as your early, well, not your early, but your leaders, your hierarchy position leaders, or people who are in leadership. They are mostly on board with the innovator. They'll choose an innovator that they think will be able to take them to where they need to be, and to be able to convey whatever it is to the other people that falls underneath them. And in those leadership roles, they'll pretty much approve something without even having a second thought of how would the laggards or how would the late majority be receptive to this new technology. So trendsetters, they're trendsetters. There's no doubt about it. They're just trendsetters. So they're the ones who's going to make the final decision on whether or not if that particular technology is going to be used or not. So early majority, middle of the innovation process, they're in like dead center. They're not for and they're not necessarily against. So they're kind of like somewhere in between. They're like Moni in the middle, stuck in the middle somewhere. So neither first nor last to adopt the innovation, but they more or less jump on board if everybody jumps on board, and if nobody else jumps on board, hey, guess what? They're not going to jump on board. So they're in the middle, one way or the other. Now, the laggards is the last to adopt any innovation because of lack of knowledge, or having fear of being introduced, or doing something that's out of their comfort zone. So they are looked at as the laggards. They're skeptical about newly innovative or innovative technology, and usually will give in when others give in as well. Okay, so if the majority say, hey, we're going to use this new technology and this is what we're going to, and you have no choice about it, guess what? The laggards have no choice but to jump on board, and that's what they do. And lastly, the late majority initially are on board with new innovations. Peer pressure aids as a tool of encouragement to help the late majority to make up their minds, because they really don't know how to make up their own minds. Again, they kind of go with the flow, and whatever y'all do, yeah, we'll do it too. So having been persuaded by the majority, late majority, then tend to think it is okay to get on board. Okay? All right, so utilizing innovations. At the beginning of the planning process, I would evaluate the overall implementation process as a whole prior to the adoption phase. And the reasons for this is I need to figure out how many people I need to train, how many resources and how many tools, technology tools, whether it's desktop, laptops, tablets, whatever technology we're trying to incorporate, I need to evaluate, have a, it's kind of like almost like project management in a way. So just, I need to be able to see the grand scheme of things and see how many I would need, what it will cost, all those different things, and then how long it would possibly take. Okay, so I would also probably issue a survey to kind of find out the education levels, to find out their job titles, the need for their training in technology. Those things will give me an idea. The survey will serve its purpose of providing feedback also from the potential subject that I would likely newly incorporate the technology to. And it provides a clear approach to what is needed to get the point across during the implementation stages. Okay. All right. So from the biblical perspective to change, the definition or meaning of fear is of the unknown. As Christians, God is in control of our lives and we should not fear new things. But to be honest with you, even though I'm a Christian, I still do fear a lot of things. And sometimes fear is not always an easy thing to overcome. But we should not be afraid of newer innovations that we are presented with, regardless of who we are or where we come from. In Matthew 17:20, Jesus said to them, because of your unbelief, your assuredly I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will always, or you will say to the mountain, move from there, move here to there, and it will move. I mean, just simple as that, and nothing will be impossible for you at all. Nothing you do would be impossible because you have to have faith of a mustard seed. That's my parents always would tell me. You have to have faith of a mustard seed. And you know how small a mustard seed is. It's very, very small. So just have a little faith and you shall be all right. Leading the system, provide proper training long before the innovation is adopted. Such practice allows for those who may have doubts to have enough time to process the change in their minds. Laggards and late majorities may find themselves in this group often. Therefore, they would receive the training first. Early adopters, early majority, early adopters, innovators are already practical, not practical, but partial to change, whether it is because of their status within the organization itself or that they work closely with the higher ups and are always mostly ready to jump on board with the process. According to sources, it has been found that the differences between the two groups in terms of socioeconomic status, personality, or variables and communication behaviors, which usually are positively related to innovativeness. That's according to Rogers 2003. And leading with Christ. How would we lead our working environment with the incorporation of Christ? My belief is that no one should be left behind. And as a school teacher, I wholeheartedly believe that no child, regardless of what their learning abilities are, mental capabilities, physical capabilities, their prior knowledge or their current knowledge, I am treating all of my students the same and no one is left behind. And I encourage all of my students to learn. And if they can't, if they feel like that they can't, it is my duty to step in and to be able to help them and lead them and to not literally take their hand, but to actually lead them in the right direction so that they will be able to accomplish other things as other students would. Well, that's going to conclude this project. I hope you all have enjoyed. And these are my sources from Rogers, the detailed review of Rogers' diffusion of innovations theory and educational technology related studies based on Rogers' theory. And this is from the Turkish Online Journal of Educational Technology. And also the scripture came from the New King James Version of the Bible, and that was retrieved from from chapter Matthew 17:20. I hope you all enjoy. You all have a great day. Thank you.